Over the weekend, we celebrated our country's 250th anniversary of being a nation. I want to point something out about the fact that 250 years ago, we did not have social media. We did not have texting. People had to wait for days, even weeks sometimes, for a letter. And to even write that letter took effort, took time, took intention. You had to sit down, you had to get enough ink, you had to write on that paper everything that your heart wanted to express, because who knows when the next time would be that you would have time to write a letter. We've lost that here in our culture. We take for granted the act of truly connecting with someone, which is into me see. Let me see what is inside your heart. I am extremely passionate about knowing the heart of God behind the scriptures. The fact that God left us letters gives us an opportunity to peek into his heart if we linger there long enough. This morning I read Matthew chapter 20 verses 6 through 8, and I saw something that I'd never seen before. In this passage, we are told that it is the 11th hour that workers were waiting in a field to be hired by the landowner. In that culture, workers didn't just automatically go in the field and start working. They had to wait upon the initiation of the landowner, of the master of the home, to invite them to work. So Jesus tells this parable of it's the 11th hour and the workers are waiting there when the landowner approaches and asks them this question: why are y'all still standing here? That question was not out of condemnation. It was out of curiosity. It's the 11th hour. Why aren't you working in the field? And the response of the workers is fascinating. Don't try to deny it. They don't just try and say, oh, I was just stretching. I was just getting ready to be chosen to go out in the field. No, their answer is so real, authentic, and full of humility. Nobody chose us. Here it is, the 11th hour of the day, and those dudes are still standing there waiting to be chosen to work. And good Lord, if it was anything like this heat, I'd be gone 5 hours ago. But they remained available. And isn't that just like the timing of Jesus? Just like when Jesus was running late to Lazarus' death and funeral. And they said, Jesus, if you would have been here, our brother would not have died. And yet Jesus was never in a rush to get there. Why? Because heaven moves according to heaven's agenda and purpose. Notice the seasons. Winter is never in a rush, and spring isn't like, move out of the way, it's my time. Heaven's timing moves through purposes, and this is exactly what we see in this passage. There's a reason why the parable says that the landowner showed up at the 11th hour. Look at the landowner's response. He doesn't ask them for their resume. Well, why weren't you chosen? Let me see. He doesn't ask them to perform. He doesn't ask them to earn the opportunity to go out into the field. The landowner simply invites them. You too can go out and work. In this series, The Story Within the Story, we are talking about how you do not have to perform or earn love. You do not have to perform to be chosen. And that is exactly what God shows us about his heart in this passage. The question itself, why are you still standing here, is what leads to the invitation. This is why God gives you space to listen to your story within the story. Just like we talked about in Luke 24, he walks with you in the journey and says, tell me what's on your mind. And that is the beautiful heart of God. You don't have to earn or perform to be chosen in love. You are invited into it. God is looking for a people that are just available. And he's not trying to erase or deny your story within the story of what you've lived so far. He wants to be invited into it. Because love is not overlooking you.